Floors are very straightforward and easy. Okay, I'm going to put a floor in here, very straightforward. Floor. You can use the pick line tool. Just be careful, sometimes you don't get the desired results. I use the pick line tool most of the time. If you use the pick line tool, the floor will always work with the walls. I'll do that for the time being. I say extend into cores which I want. Okay, and I'm going to pick, usually for ground floor it's a surface bed. If you're going floors up, your concrete slabs going up are usually 255s for what you guys are doing. So here I'm going to say pick wall. Now you'll see it will either pick the internal core face or the external, and this is why you need to determine what the core layer is. And you'll see that it goes past the plaster into the walls, which is what you want. Okay, you can set an offset for this. So for your surface bed, I'm happy with that, for example. So here you see your surface bed will meet the wall and go past your core, for example. Okay, likewise here. Here I haven't fixed that wall with that. So let me show you how to do that again. So you can click the wall, you can go to view. And all I did here was I just changed the cut profile. I select this layer, drew a line. Just remember, I'm not removing it from the 3D model. I'm just changing it in 2D. I'm just changing the appearance in 2D. So that's how I get around it. I don't try and make stacked walls. It's just too complicated to manage stacked walls. Okay, so that's my surface bed. Okay, I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste, aligned to selected level, first floor level. Okay, all I've done is just copy the slab to the top. Go back to my section. Okay, now this generally is a 255 slab. Preset up in the template. Okay, that's a 255 slab. Now any wall that was drawn from ground to first, you'll need to say minus 255, so it meets the underside of the slab every time. Okay, so the other wall in the distance wasn't, so we can fix that in a minute. So for example, this wall needs to be adjusted minus 255. Okay, and you want these to work with the slab. You want this to work with the level, because by mistake this has to change. Look what happens, everything changes. That's why you do it. Okay, because if there's a major design change, you don't want to be going in here uploading, downloading. So let's make this 3.2. Okay, so floors are just like inserting. Okay, this one I'm going to go to first floor. I'm going to edit that boundary, edit boundary. So these you can go and cut holes in. So it's like you would use a filled region, for example. Never join your walls with your for example. So this will make it, it's like using filled region. Floors are pretty easy to use. Okay, we'll cover the floors and more later on when you've got different ramps and that kind of thing, when you can't use a ramp, so we can use a floor to work as a ramp, but that we'll cover a bit later. So we can add some points where we can adjust how the slab will function later on. But that gets quite complicated, so I'd much rather tackle that on a design type process, for example. So I'm just going to say reset shape. Okay, so working with floors, I'm just going to change this edit boundary. I'm going to get rid of this external line for now, because on first floor, what you're trying to do, I'll do this in ground floor. Just remember, I'm still working on first floor. These floors we try and extend, they must meet, they generally go into this core, first floor. Okay, so the internal brickwork gets built up to the underside of the slab. The external skin will sail past, and you put steel hangers that will carry the external skin. Okay, so finish. I'm just going to grab, so tab to select, like you would select a whole bunch of connected line work, same story. I'm just going to extend this pass by 2 meters. 2000. If I had another level, I could introduce another level. So I can go, just a word of caution, if you use the control drag up, you'll notice that This arrow's blue, this one's black. It just means that there's no level created. If you've done it this way, you'll just need to go and create a new floor plan. So this one, I'm going to make 3.2 higher or 6.4, whatever the case might be. Because this doesn't have a level yet, you need to go and make them. So you'll need to go to View, Floor Plans, Floor Plans. You can duplicate levels here, but if there's no level for if there's no views created for the level, you can just simply go and say create, and you see now it creates this level for you. Okay, so on first floor, let's go to here, tab, select all the connecting walls, and they must go up to level 2, for example, make that 0. Okay, now I can start working with my grids. The grids I'm going to tackle a bit later. Now that you see that, I'm going to get rid of that for the time being. I don't need these sweeps. If I switch on, you notice that the wall goes in, but if I use the join tool, so modify, and I say join, and I join that with the wall, you'll see that it cuts in the wall. And I switch to my line weights, it will cut. Now, there's one more trick that we do. If we go and change the way this works, so structure is always 6 or 5, so I'm going to make this 5. Substrate is always 4, for example. Press apply, press OK. Sorted. So there's your external brick skins going up. There's your concrete. I haven't done anything. I've just joined the walls together. And I've just overridden how this works. So half your technical drawing's done already. Join that with that. So here's your concrete. You might find there's a column that goes in here. So this concrete will go past. So these skins get built up to there. It's different with your surface bed. Your surface bed doesn't go into the wall itself because these come off your foundations. But these, and then they put a steel hanger in here to carry the external skin. Maybe because this external skin can't go too high. So there needs to be some way to secure each level's external face brick, for example. Okay, there's different ways to do it. All right, so that's that in a nutshell. Okay, that's how floors work. I'm going to come back to doors in a minute. One last thing to do with floors. So what you can also do with the floor, let's go to my second floor, for example. This floor over here. With floors, you don't have to punch a whole lot of holes in them. You've got a special tool called shafts. So now this shaft will tell you how does it want to work. Just like you would set up a wall, it's going to work from ground floor, and it'll go through that floor, and it'll go up until second floor, for example. And I'll draw. There's my shaft. So now that's where my lift sits. So in 3D view, it will cut a shaft through all those floors. Okay. And what's nice is you don't have to try and edit the profiles of this every time. So if the shaft changes, especially for vertical adjustments, edit sketch. As I edit the sketch, it will make the shaft work accordingly. Okay. So that's the beauty. So if I duplicate this floor slab, copy, paste on level 1, for example, line to this level 2, and because the shaft is going through, it'll keep penetrating that for me. Okay. All right. So that's that in a nutshell. Let's go to 3. Yeah, let's switch to my section box. So that's how that shaft scenario works. Okay. So that's how you would use a shaft on floors. Okay.